Dire team ban.
And we're back for game number 2 of this best of 3. Took a little bit of time to find a server, but finally we're in and ready to roll as LGD takes on LGD, and I'm willing to bet LGD is probably going to walk away with the win here. Just depends on where those players hail from. LGD International taking on LGD China. And game number 1, Loda and I, and by the way, I am joined by Loda Berg, so much thanks to you again for joining me early in the morning, early my time. It's about afternoon your time, so you have no excuse to not be up and out of bed every day. But anyway, we both talked about it during the draft in game number 1, and it really bared itself out throughout game number 1 and towards a 30-minute win, which was very one-sided and very impressive out of LGD International. They just got everything they ever wanted, like the lineup that they love to run. If you talk to their players, you watch them play, they got heroes that they love to run in the way they like to run them, and they just ran over LGD China. I don't think they lost the tower the entire game, did they? They finished the game with every tower still standing.
10 seconds remaining.
They did. And I think it's good that LGD China goes for different bans this game. You can see that they banned the Shadow Demon, which is a lane controller, very strong lane dominance hero. They banned the Naix, the Brax. Naix is feared in China, it seems.
With good reason, I would imagine. And
yeah, of course.
Waiting to see. And yeah, Brax finished up. I want to say he finished up 10-1 or 11-1 in game number 1. But really the star of the show was, I mean, again, I hate to keep harping on it, but it was the draft. They felt like well, we talked about it during the lane. They ended up offensively tri-laning. And it was a tri-lane that didn't get kills. It didn't really force the Anti-Mage off a farm, but it broke even. And if you can do that when you have a Lone Druid on your team, that's 100% a win for both of those lanes. Because Lone Druid's going to win his lane 99 times out of 100 when it's one-on-one. He was up against Darkseer and did a fantastic job down there. He got completely out of control. His items were way big early on. And because they were able to break even with the Anti-Mage, hold him down just enough to keep him off of Battle Fury, to make him make decisions like getting treads first instead of rushing up the Battle Fury especially fast, kept him from falling back into the jungle once the laning phase broke down and the pressure began to be applied elsewhere. And yeah, I mean, it was just a beautifully drafted and played game out of LGD International. Not to say it's always about the draft. You, of course, have to execute the lineup that you put together as well. So the lineup's now beginning to show. Magnus going to be the first pick out from LGD China.
Yeah, Magus is a great hero. I mean, I've heard rumors, or I don't know if it's rumors, but the developers are considering nerfing and removing his damage that he does with the ultimate, and I think that would be a good direction to go, because that hero is just so strong right now. I mean, if he's soloing mid, for example, he will always be able to solo kill the opponent at level 6 or 7. And I mean, his impact in team fights, like someone said yesterday, that his ult is like a black hole, but it's instant.
Certainly feels that way. It feels like a spell that, I mean, I get where people are coming with it. I feel like, yeah, I'm happy to hear that most people don't want to see him completely scaled back. But he is just an unbelievably versatile hero. Reverse Polarity has a fairly short cooldown, so if you spend it and waste it, it's not the end of the world. It's not like a black hole that it takes 8 years for that ability to be available to you once again. It's got a pretty decent range and all that, and especially now that he's going to have just basically solid drafting out of LGD China this time with Druid and Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, I think their drafting is much better this time. I mean, this time they have the Scylla, so they will have tower pressure. They have the Mag, so they will be able to both be strong in team fights and be able to empower the carry or empower the bear, even. And they're just looking to have a much stronger lineup this game, and maybe a bit more lane dominance. But we'll see about that. LGD Int is going for, I would guess they're going for some kind of IG lineup, where they will 5-man a lot with the Luna and make use of the Luna aura.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, they keep going for the tower pressure heroes like Lesh once again. They really love that support. And now they have Rubik as well, who's one of the strongest laners as well. So they will probably do this Lesh plus Rubik lane.
LGD's turn to ban.
I would imagine so. And with the Luna pickup, and I talk a lot about it on our streams about why Luna is so valuable and so flexible and why she's more popular in most areas and with most teams than even an Anti-Mage is at this point. It is that Lunar Blessing. Lunar Blessing, a fantastic passive, mostly because it's a flat damage bonus. It isn't a percentage-based bonus, so it's not like you're getting a plus 15% on top of 48 damage on your support. You know, that would be nothing. But you get a flat damage bonus. You can put just 1 point into it early if you want, and that alone gives you the potential to offensively tri-lane, especially when you're talking the aggressive potential of a Rubik and a Leshrac. And after game 1, I don't think there's any question that LGD International can run that kind of a lineup extremely effectively. They also, as you said, could just go ahead and play it safe. Just go ahead and safe lane the Luna, start Rubik, start Lesh there, out there, and then those two can begin to roam and apply pressure, look to TP gank, and so on and so forth after they feel the Luna's gotten off to a good start. I do feel like that it's hard to call, but in situations like this, just having broadcasted so much Dota, I like it when teams take a good win like that we saw in game 1 and then just go immediately back on the offensive. They don't fall back and play passive.
Yeah, I completely agree, and that's how LGD Int likes doing it. I mean, they even go on the offensive when they've lost the game before. Yeah, really an offensive team. But I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if they ran a offensive tri-lane with Luna, because they can play that safe way in the offensive tri-lane where they just deny back the lane, and with that Lunar Blessing they will be able to be really strong when it comes to denying creeps from the enemy carry and so on, and especially when it's a counter go situation, they're very strong. The supports can even just click down heroes.
Well, already we see the Nyx Assassin out. That's kind of the one big concern I have. If they did want to offensively tri-lane, it is very difficult to offensively tri-lane into a Nyx, just because the hero, by definition of how the hero works, excels at bringing an end to that kind of aggression. Just 1 point in the carapace is usually plenty.
Well, I think it works both ways actually. I mean, it depends a lot of the if you're safe laning with Nyx and he's able to pull the creep and get levels, then it's going to be hard. But when it comes to like from level 1, Nyx is actually quite weak. I mean, despite Carpus is good, but it has been nerfed as well.
Yeah.
So if he would go for that level 1, he wouldn't have so much impact on the lane. So I don't know. I don't really think that LGD will go for the offensive tri-lane just by knowing how Pycat loves to play the Luna. But I mean, I think both teams have really good drafts, and they both have drafts where they can like complete their lineups with pretty much anything. And they can switch the lanes. They could, I mean, LG China could even send it's probably going to be a safe lane Lone Druid, a mid mag and off lane Prophet for China.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, that Prophet pickup worries me some, Luda, because here's my problem. We're going to see a pickup here. Queen of Pain would be a wise pickup here, I think, from LGD, or a Puck. I feel like either of those heroes would fit in really well because they do still need a mid and an off lane. Now, let's say they pick a Queen of Pain, and we'll see soon if that's the direction they're looking to go. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Queen of Pain comes out from LGD Gaming International. How exactly is LGD China going to fight in the first 25 minutes? Like, where's their damage? Where is their actual AoE potential? They just don't have any outside of the RP, and RP's amazing. Don't worry, don't sleep on that. But when you compare that to Eclipse, to Sonic Wave, to Scream of Pain, to Leshrac with Edict, even if Leshrac's not the biggest level in the world, I see same thing with Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman is an excellent hero. They have a million years of push, by the way. If and when they want to start to push, that's going to be hard. But when you push, you force 5-on-5 engagements most of the time. And I feel like LGD International just has a gigantic advantage there. They're going to pick a Treant Protector.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
No, they really love these heroes that cannot die. I mean, they love to offlane Nyx. They love to offlane Juggernaut even. And now they go for the Treant. So, I mean, I'm very surprised by that pickup. But, I mean, since they buffed Treant, they buffed this, what is it called? The Nature's Guise, is it? The one that gives you, you block some damage? It's actually a really great skill.
Oh, no, yeah, Living Armor.
Oh, yeah, Living Armor, that's true. Nature's Guise is probably in this. But anyways, it will win the mid lane for your mid hero. Like honestly, it will. And here it looks like, will they actually do Luna mid? That's very fine. I mean, Luna mid against
they are gonna offensively trialing this. This is beautiful. I love this.
Wow.
Because
I think this could actually be very strong because Leech Seed with Treant, he's gonna go for the living armor as well. He's gonna be so tanky.
And Prophet can do nothing against the Queen of Pain solo. He's just gonna be able to do nothing.
Yeah, he's gonna get... The Queen of Pain is gonna win that lane for sure. But it's gonna be interesting to see how mid goes. I think it's gonna be fairly even at least. I mean, the mag could even go for... Okay, he skilled Shockwave already. I mean, for example, S4 likes going for Empower sometimes level 1. Just to get that extra last hit versus a hero like Luna.
It's been a while since I've actually seen a team properly tri-lane a Lone Druid. It seems like for the longest time, it's just become the norm.
Yeah, this is actually a lineup that LG China used against us in when we screamed them a lot with Zenith when I was in Singapore. They like having this passive tri-lane with Sylla where they can just rely on the bear being annoying and taking so much space that they can pull and they can just get some levels. And once they get level 6 on Rasta, they will right away take a tower, or they will even smoke and take Roche. Oh, I disconnected again.
It's all right. We'll get you back in and plaguing all of our co-casters here today.
Yeah, it sounded like the Russian stream heard me when I reconnected the second time.
Really? Oh boy, Dota TV having some problems. But anyway, I'll tell you what immediately stands out, and I kind of touched on it a bit already. These lanes could go either way, so I don't think this is a flat-out draft win by LGD International whatsoever. I do feel like top and mid should go completely their way. I mean, Mag's gonna get his last hits. He's not gonna get flat-out beat, but Luna should do quite well there as well. But if LGD China loses 1 or 2 big fights early, I don't know that they're going to be able to catch up. They just don't have a lineup that gives you that ability. Midas... Go ahead.
They do have a... I'm quite sure that they picked the Furion for the split push potential.
Yep.
Because they know that LGD Int loves to go as 5 and pressure towers. And if they have that Furion who can split push, maybe even get an early mech if this top lane doesn't go all too bad, then they will be able to like counter push kind of, just counter fight, counter gang a lot. And if that works their way, then the lineup is good for that, like, for that result. But I mean, it all depends on the early game. Absolutely. On this offensive tri-lane from LGD.
We can see Treant's actually the one farming here. Pretty easy to farm when you have 86 base damage at level 1. Not exactly difficult. He's sitting at 5 last hits at the moment. And our Lone Druid is actually sitting below him, sitting at 4. So this could be another one of those situations where, you know, honestly, if LGD International, given it is 3 supports in particular, or 3 support-ish heroes, I should say, if they're able to break even here, that's not going to be that bad of a trade for them. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. The kill potential's there on both sides. Taking a look at Pycat mid, he's actually on top. He's sitting at 9 last hits at the moment. And Mag not far behind him. Now Yao, though, is in some trouble. And this could get ugly. She has a blink up in 5 seconds. She's actually going to back off. I'm surprised God usually plays really aggressive. I'm surprised he didn't just keep walking forever and try to get a first blood there.
Yeah, but he was getting some hits from the creeps, and if he was unlucky, Yao could have maybe juked him a bit. And he wouldn't have been able to get the kill, so I understand why he would play safe in that situation. But I mean, you can see it on top lane already. Brax is using the living armor on Quap. He's getting some extra regen so he can stay and sustain the lane. He even put some living armor on the top tower so it doesn't take any damage.
LG International going to move into the jungle here on Radiant side. We may have an engagement. Long DD. Thought was going to be the target, not going to be the case. International just happy to take away this pull. Little mana burn. Going to keep Misery from fighting at peak effectiveness. This has freed the lane up for Sylar, though, who's going to be quite happy to have some unimpeded CS added to his tally. He's at 10. Treant's actually beating him. Brax is sitting at 13 CS right now, comparative to Sylar. Up at top, Queen of Pain doing quite well. She's sitting at 14. And Prophet, not in bad shape either.
Prophet is doing really well.
Yep.
And he's using those treants and just playing passive in the lane to be able to farm. He's removing a lot of the trees so he can see what's happening. And you can see here, he's just right-clicking Mystery with the Treant when he can. Mystery, I mean God, of course, sorry.
I'm a little surprised, actually, that that's going as well as it is for him. I think Queen of Pain's one of those heroes, though, that from level 1, I mean, yeah, you can hang with her, but the more levels she gets, even if you're gaining levels, the more dangerous she becomes.
Yeah, but he's doing it exactly the right way. He's pressuring the lane. So God has the Sentinel creeps against him all the time. So if he will go for Yao, he will have to tank 3 creeps as well. And maybe it doesn't sound so much, but that is some damage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Tri-lane continues to be relatively quiet. A lot of back and forth, 23-23. The top 2 farmers both belonging to LGD International in this case. That's Luna and Queen of Pain. And our Lone Druid has caught up and finally surpassed the big Ramblin' Tree. He's sitting at 18 in comparison to 16 of the Treant Protector. Magnus sitting at 19. Not quite on par with Pycat, but I feel like this is actually going really well for LGD International. And yeah, Yao has to TP away. And God just trading blows with him. And that's going to get worse and worse. The more levels she gets, the more points she gets into things like Shadow Strike, Scream of Pain. Her Blink in particular gives her that extra bit of mobility. The cooldown on it much reduced with every point that goes into it. She's going to be able to apply more and more pressure until I feel like that Prophet is probably just going to end up being run out of that lane.
Yeah, I mean, that's how this lane is going to end up. Once the Queen of Pain gets some levels, she's going to become stronger and stronger. Then now she has the bottle as well. She's going to be bottle refilling, most likely. And the Prophet will be... He's going to be having a hard time. But I would rather see them focusing this Prophet's attention on bottom lane while they still see that God has no TP on him. But I mean, I guess it's quite scary going for a Treant because they don't have the damage to kill anyone because of this living armor.
Yep.
It blocks 40 damage. 7 damage stances. I mean, that's...
It's a little absurd. It's a little absurd. And I think it's kind of a running joke at this point that IceFrog wants people to play Treant Protector.
Yeah, I know.
He does.
I'm actually a bit annoyed by this because, you know, since Dota 1, when they started picking Treant, I just, you know, I started hating the game, kind of. That was the end for me. You know? And I was so happy that Treant wasn't added nor, like, buffed in Dota 2, but now they just keep making him stronger. It's like, nobody's picking him. Okay, time to give him 83 base.
Exactly.
It's like, what?
Oh, IceFrog, you devious bastard. Back here in mid, still, it's still so quiet. 6.5 minutes in, not a single kill on the board. Really, only one time I thought I saw someone who might have been able to get a kill. But I suspect this is going to be a lot like Game 1 and a lot like many other games you'll see, where it starts out this quiet. Both teams have lineups. They want to run quietly for a little while just to get their legs under them. But then you'll have someone move, you'll have one TP gank, you'll have one mistake made, and you'll start to see a lot more movement, a lot of pressure applied in a lot of different ways, especially given the global presence of heroes like the Nature's Prophet, the pure mobility built into God's Queen of Pain. There's a lot of ways to punish mistakes on both teams. So far, though, neither team willing to quite take that leap. 7 minutes in, and just because I have nothing else to talk about, 1,000 gold. The advantage of LGD International, that's without a tower down, that's without a kill on the board, so that's just pure farm advantage right now.
Yeah. And Pycat has been doing really well in mid. Just a minute ago, he was out-CCing Magnus by 10 Cs or something. Almost. But Mag is coming back into the game. I mean, now he has a maxed Shockwave, and Xiao 8 is a great solo mid, and he knows how to make use of that. So Mag is coming back into the game. But at the same time, I mean, this does remind me a bit of Game 1. Because LGD Int are so smart when it comes to how they plan their lanes.
Yep.
Like, how they plan their game. Because you can see here, just by looking at the heroes, the Queen of Pain against the Furion, you see that the Queen of Pain is going to win that lane.
Yep.
I mean, if Furion isn't extremely, extremely good, and extremely much better than the Quap.
Right.
And in mid lane, the Luna will be... Like, she will actually be winning that lane in the early game.
Yep.
Now it's going to be evening it out. And now they're doing this once again on bottom lane. They're having a lane where they're going, like, they're going even pretty much. But this game they're doing better than even.
Well, I'll tell you what I love the most. And here we see at top, God getting another dose of the heal bot that is the Treant Protector. What they've done is taken the two heroes that need the best start and put them in the absolute optimal situation. Oh, hang on. Brax is going to be locked down. He's been rooted down. He is going to be cleaned up. First blood on the board. Now Misery in trouble. Here comes the TP. He's going to be forced back. One auto attack, not enough to clean him up. And Yao thought about going for it, thought better of it, and pulled back. And now they may decide to push, and Xiao's already down here. Got there just in time to see that happen. Level 4 on Shadow Shaman, still a ways away from having his wards. But it looks like we will just kind of calm down out of that. So, LGD China finally says, enough's enough! How about we get a kill? And they are going to press the tower. Wow, they got it down to half health. And Brax, level 4, himself, 2 points in the leech seed, 2 in the living armor. Just trying to buy time. This tower already down well below 1/4 health. Druid is going to go ahead and pause the game. It'll give me a minute to thank you guys for being here, joining myself and Loda, who's my broadcasting partner this morning here on One More Game TV2. Make sure you check out G1.2p.com, the coverage hub for this G1 season, G1 Champions League season number 5. We're in the Asian qualifier, phase number 3. Find all of your information about that, as well as your casting hub, articles, interviews, you name it. All can be found on G1.2p.com. So the tower remains standing, at least momentarily, and this is what Triad does. Like, oh, it's still standing. How about I just heal it up? How's that?
Yeah, it is healing quite fast, that tower, I have to say. And it's going to be interesting to see how much it's going to be able to get it back to HP. But, I mean, this was exactly what LGD China had to do. And I really like the fact that they used the Prophet in a aggressive way there. To, like, once Prophet hits level 6, then they go for it. Then they go for a kill on the tri-lane. And they, I mean, with that route, they were able to do a great initiation, so...
Yep, it was a very solid route. All skill, baby. All skill, says Siler. But 10 minutes in, 1 kill on the board, and it belongs to the Chinese version of LGD, that gold. Still moving the way of international, though. And what I was in the process of saying before that fight broke out, and it still remains relevant, we can actually see a single pull from here from Queen of Pain. And she has, it looks like she's going to double pull. I thought she was going to single pull and just try to push. But anyway, it's the fact they took the heroes that they knew they needed the best start, put them in the best possible situations in one-on-one lanes that they were going to be at the advantage in, and then they picked a Treant Protector who could give them even more advantage. So yes, they gave up first blood, but this tower's still standing. This tower's back to half health, Loda, just from nothing but living armor.
While we're talking, I was like, oh god.
It is so miserable. Here's the TP reaction. We've got one walking his way up as well. That's going to be 1437 and God ready to fight. Siler going to be tanky. DDC likely to be the big target along with Long DD. God hanging himself back. Doesn't want to reveal himself, hoping to bait some kind of action out here. In the meantime, Misery has rotated up the top. He's looking to suck some solo experience, get a little gold on his own. God now making his way down towards the river. They've got a ward down. They're going to spot a... Nope, never mind. No room coming. Misread the clock. But so far, yeah, Misery just going to go ahead and solo push a little bit.
Yeah, but I think that LGD China read that really well. I think that Zhao was standing in base waiting to TP bottom and apply pressure, but they knew that God was missing. So he was just waiting there for a while, and then he decided to go top to just defend the tower. And I think they're... I mean, even if it may look like it's going in the favor of LGD Int right now, LGD China are playing it right. They're waiting for levels. They're trying to get those levels on Nyx. They're trying to get those levels on Rasta for the wards to be able to just take down towers. And they will have quite strong team fight with the mag plus Rasta wards and everything. Fury and ulti. So if those treants are going to be there as well, then they're going to be able to soak up some of the damage from the Luna ulti.
This tower is full health.
Yeah.
No, it is full health. Like right now it is back to full health. It was down to less than 1/5 of its hit points. And yeah, I mean, just keeping that tower up by itself, a pretty big win. I mean, just...
Yeah, I'm just wondering what Siler is saying right now. He's like, what?
He's saying, Treant Protector OP. Loda, screw you, because Treant's awesome and everyone's going to pick him now.
Yeah.
Listen to Check. I can hear the depression.
I am looking at the hero, and I think I've been mentioning to my team as well. I think it's looking at the abilities, it looks quite viable.
You heard it here. Treant Protector incoming first pick all over the planet.
First pick, maybe not, but it's viable.
Down here, Brax is 6 now. 1437 is not far away from 6. And you know, what I think is going to be the make or break for both teams is going to be the way that the team fights begin to go once we hit 20. I feel like International needs to be forcing fights, and they're doing a good job of picking their shots. I don't feel like they're pressing too much, and oftentimes, and this is what I feel like really won them game one, was they knew they had to fight, they knew they wanted to fight, but they didn't just suicide in. They didn't take bad opportunities and make them worse by playing too aggressive. Instead, they're just taking what's being given to them, and LGD China's playing a beautiful game so far. However, when you look at the farm, Treant Protector's still on par with Lone Druid. Like, he's got 2,000 gold in the bank, man. He's got tier 1s with Wand and 2,000 gold sitting in his inventory. It's going to be an armlet build on Sylar this time. He's got to set a phase up and tier 1s on the bear himself. But he is right there.
Blink? I was going to say that I was going to look for a mech pickup or something for the team fight on Treant, but he goes for the early game Blink Dagger.
Well, I think that just plays into kind of what I was saying. They know they want to fight. They have to fight. They need to get something out of their lineup. And
yeah, I mean, I love the pickup. It's gonna make the fighting so much easier. And initiation especially.
And here comes the TP. That's going to be God. He's ready to roll. Sonic Wave. And there it is. There's the ulti going to be blown after that. The Hex follows it up. 1437 managed to get a Hex. He got Hex. There's a root, though, on Brax. Now the Sonic Wave. Caught two, but the RP in return. Going to clean it completely up. Luna's going to get there, but she's a day late and a dollar short. Dodges a skewer, but not much else she can contribute. Oh, the root. Caught Pycat. A big, big turnaround in LGD China. Comes out swinging just short of 15 minutes in, make it 5-0. Don't think Living Armor is going to keep this tower up this time around.
Yeah, and this is LGD China are just playing this really well. I mean, this is what I mean. They wanted to wait for those levels and they want to counter initiate because they went for the early mech on Furion and he had it in the right moment, so to speak. He saved the life of that Rasta and they were able to turn that fight without losing a single hero. And now they're getting the wards up as well. They're gonna get 2 towers for this. And the Nyx is now level 7. The Mag is level 11. And LGD China are looking very strong right now.
Let's see, what? 1437, he got the wards. So he's got that going for him.
Oh, wow, that's really good.
But 16 minutes. See if they want to counterfight. Don't know if they're going to be able to catch them. But as well as game one was going the way of LGD International, this time their Chinese counterparts pouring the pressure on very, very early. That Lone Druid getting a much-needed infusion of gold there. He's got 1,500 in the bank. Taking a look at, yeah, you think that's a swing? Look at the gold graph load at 3,000 now in favor.
I mean, that fight decided so much about this game. I mean, now LGD China can just keep playing safe, pretty much, and keep farming on the Lone Druid, get him in fat. He's going for the armlet, as you said, and they're going to be able to apply a lot of pressure.
DDC with a set of arc boots up here in mid. Magnus going to skewer himself back to safety. Telekinesis was used, but to no real effect. Long DD, set of arcs in his own inventory. And God going to be getting himself an Orchid, it would seem. On his way to that, one would guess, with the Sage's Mask as well as the Quarterstaff in the inventory. Very important item for him. And that's one thing they can rely on, is outside of the Druid's pure damage potential, pretty much all of LGD is 100% enslaved to their skills. Like, they really have to have a good RP. They really have to have Nyx Assassin running through his entire rotation to get the damage out on the single target that they want. And when you look at just pure right-click potential, obviously the Druid gets the nod in terms of towers and one-on-one, but in terms of pure late-game scalability, Luna can hang there. Like, Pycat's not going to be completely outclassed if all things are going to be equal. So LGD not out of this yet, but certainly behind in a big way in this game, 100% in control of the Chinese squad. They're beginning to show their faces here in mid. We're going to have a little pressure applied to the top as well from Pycat. He's going to be forced off. The glyph was used. And I'm a little surprised they didn't try to counter push mid off of that. They had to know the TP was coming. And yeah, the deny on the tower does take place. So now maybe the push in mid. Down goes the Sentry. Shockwave. Gonna split the wickets. Doesn't hit a single target yet. We've got 4 here. Prophet likely to hook back up with them momentarily. And LGD both looking for an opening here.
Yeah. By the way, I should add that I got some inside information between the games, and it seems that LGD Int and LGD China hasn't been scrimming that much since the G League
Oh, wow.
It's
Counter
bringing it
wards.
up.
Counter wards come out of 1437.
Yeah,
They're-
it surrounds the
Yeah, they
bear.
actually had the bear caught. The tower's still in some trouble. Let's see if they want to initiate out. Doesn't look like they do. They're just going to leave things free for Pycat, and there's that living armor. It's popped off. And they should get this tower without a lot of contesting. And they will. They're actually going to catch one. Here we go. There's a skewer back on 1437. He's going to be cleaned up with an ether shock. And 6-0. LGD China is rolling. Pycat left to his own devices is going to be getting himself up a BKB. Looked like he was thinking drums with the bracer. But BKB going to be the choice. He's about, make it 900 gold away, give or take, from that BKB. But it may just come out a bit too little too late because this is almost a mirror of Game 1, really. Sylar just able to apply pressure freely wherever he wants. He's got the armlet up, the bear already hitting hard, and he has 2,700 gold in the bank. So if he wants a Maelstrom, it's more or less his.
Yeah, and this just shows how strong Scylla is as a hero. I mean, I've been talking to my team about this, and what teams do against us lately is that they first pick Scylla. And this armlet build has turned... it makes the bear so strong. I mean, he's regening, he doesn't even lose HP or anything. And it
Here's an
gives that-
initiation in
it gives
mid.
that
We're going to have
armor.
Tree and Protector pop his ulti with no real follow-up. The Queen of Pain was picked off. Now a little bit of damage done. There's a Sprout on Misery, though. And Magnus is there. Yeah, this is getting out of control. 8-0. And right now, LGD International just feels completely outclassed. Pycat doing what he can, but even Pycat went with the defensive build in the BKB. BKB, obviously, on Luna, not a bad item. But when you're this far behind, you're not going to win a fight because you're magic immune and hitting for half the damage of Syllabear. Like, that's just not going to work.
Yeah, you're completely right, and this is the problem with Luna as a hero when you see yourself in games like these, because as I said, they have the treants, they have wards, they are applying a lot of pressure. So even if you go in with that Luna ulti, you will not do so much damage if you don't pick your fights very carefully.
Very nice dodge from Brax, able to blink himself away. But they can't even challenge this. Like, they have nothing to do. Even if they have the ulti, now they're going to catch Misery. Misery will be cleaned up. Brax is going to be shackled in place. And Sonic Wave does counter, but the mech is there to get him back in fighting shape. RP spin on just one. I believe that's a victory dance right there. Spinning an RP to just get one. Yeah, that's not something you do unless you feel that this game is just about over, and I'm just about to... Oh, Pycat! Oh, he will be able to make it away. The bear unable to find a route when he wanted it the most. 10-0, though. They do end up getting a tower, but there's only one outer tier tower remaining now for the international squad. And the gold, Eek, getting near 10,000, just about on pace with where LGD International was in game number 1. The net worth... Yeah, top 3 all belong to LGD China. They look like a brand new team with a renewed sense of victory.
Yeah, they're just using this momentum to keep extending their lead, and I think it's interesting that Furion still goes for the Midas after something like 14-15 minute mech.
Yep.
And that means that they're making sure that even if this goes to late game and we have to fight a Luna, we're gonna have a really strong Furion.
Yep.
Who can even do some DPS himself. And I feel that this dagger pickup did a lot for this game, because if they would have kept going from more safer playstyle and the Treant would have went for the mech, then they would just have been able, then they wouldn't lose these early towers, and then they would be able to use this 5-man push potential they have. When they just stick as 5, they keep the living armor up on some people and they just slowly push and fight. But when they went for this blink, and I mean, I'm not saying it's, once again, I'm not saying it's a bad pickup, but it's a risky pickup.
One of the bigger ganks you're going to see. Sylar going to be isolated and caught by the entire freaking team. 1437's there. He actually had stolen Vendetta. There's the follow-up. Overkill much. Here comes Magnus, though. Magnus going to be caught with the ulti. RP going to go off. That locks Pycat in place. However, they clean up 1437. And Yao trying to do damage while he can. Pycat with the BKB still up. Should go away sometime soon. Now we're going to see a blink away. But the Shackle is there to hold down Pycat. They end up getting 2 for 1. They finally put a kill on the board, but it cost them more than they received. So getting Lone Druid down, yeah, that would have been awesome. But getting him down at 23 minutes when he's already this gigantic. And yeah, if you look at the goal graph, that didn't even register as a dent. In fact, it continues going upwards in favor of LGD China.
Yeah. I mean, you did... Let's wait and see what's happening on bottom lane here. Long Diddy is trying to pick off God.
Yep, here we go. Yep, never mind, gonna cancel it.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of miscommunication. It's a classic thing when you want to do these gangs and you ask someone to TP and maybe they TP too fast and you actually end up scaring away the opponent. But we'll see if something... Oh, God blinks straight into DDC and Long Diddy.
Shackle, Carapace just in case, and we'll be able to make it away because of wand charges. Wand OP, no!
No.
Furion old Yao says, no, sir. You are going back to spawn, and you are not going back to heal up. Pycat.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I was hoping he would make it there because he really had to stay alive to be able to get back into the...
I honestly don't know what they can do right now. It's... The team fight potential was there, but I feel like it has somewhat gotten away from them now. And
wow, he just went for a Desolator.
Oh wow!
It's actually the first time I've seen this.
I'll tell you what's funny, and I hope you're watching. I've got a very good friend, a very, very close friend, who I play Dota with, named Dig. Shout out to you, Dig. He actually was trying to convince me that this is viable this morning. No lie, like an hour before the broadcast, Dig's like, dude, I'm telling you. Get the armlet, get a Desolator on the bear, it works.
Yeah, I mean... But no.
But no!
He has to drop the Orb of Venom, though.
Yep.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. I honestly, again, just to be...
Look at the tower. Oh, it does work.
Oh,
maybe it works on towers because...
Wow.
They can't...
Look at that. Chunk.
I have to check again if I was wrong. It looked like creeps didn't get minus armor.
Well, there's the BKB and the blink out. Shockwave's going to be spent. He's got an RP if he wants it. Doesn't look like he's going to need it. Not for one target. Ult's going to be used. Oh, he thought about it. Eyes got a little big there, didn't they, Xiao? But in mid, in the meantime, Sonic Wave will connect on Long DD. He will be cleaned up. And now the counter initiation RP does whiff. I thought he canceled that, but he didn't. He just flat out whiffed it. Sprout gonna catch one, but Treant able to blink away. And now here comes Pycat using the Eclipse, but not able to get enough damage done in the root. Locks him down again. There's a telekinesis back. Can they finally get a team fight win under their belt? No! Pycat cleaned up everyone walking around with about a quarter health bar. But no kills outside of the initial Nyx assassin going the way of LGD International. 14-2. China able to keep everyone up and breathing at least for a little while.
Yeah, I kind of thought that LGD were going to be able to win that engage, but Pycat he was kind of on the wrong place in the wrong moment. Because he got stuck on the other side, on the other side of his opponent. So he had LGD China in between him. So he tried to get a good ulti off and get something out of that and run out, I think. But then he got entangled.
Yep.
And we know what happens when you get entangled by this monster of a bear.
You make a frowny face and you say ban the Lone Druid game 3.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are 27 minutes in. This match still very much in favor of the Chinese squad. LGD International does lead this series 1-0. But LGD China looking to be in good shape to give us a game 3 here on our first broadcast of Phase 3 of the G1 Champions League Season number 5. If you're just tuning in, thank you for joining us here on One More Game TV 2. I'm AC, joined by Loda of No Tidehunter fame. Hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast. Still got a lot of Dota left to play, one way or the other. 10,000 gold, the advantage now in favor of LGD China. 12,000, I should say, experience, rolling their way as well. So at this stage, I mean, you're getting towards 30 minutes. That's a big gap, but it's not insurmountable. But LGD International they can't lose too many more team fights, or it is going to get insurmountable really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you're completely right. If LGD loses a fight, like if they lose one fight that is heavily in favor of LGD China right now, that's game. And we're gonna see LGD China applying pressure on this bottom lane now. They're probably gonna drop the Rasta wards and just ship down that tower with the Spirit Bear.
And here we go, Bear leading the way. Split Earth buys a little bit of time. There's a Nyx Assassin caught out. He will be silenced out, but he will be able to make it back down. So the Orchid going to be on cooldown at least momentarily. Tier 3 at about a quarter health now. Glyph will be used, but the bear recalled, sent back in. He's got a Hyperstone up already as well. And just look at the damn the root! 1437 not happy, and the RP catches God. The one piece of reliable damage. No, he blinks away. Shockwave, though, can't outrun that. 1437 going to be caught out as well. I hear Pycat re-engaging. The damage spread out amongst too many targets, though. That's 4 down. China still up and running. 1437 makes it 5. GG's come out. It's taken us two.
This is so surprising. Watching that first game going so heavily in favor of LGD Int, and as I said, if LGD China didn't completely change their picks and their way of playing the game, they would lose this game. But they were able to surprise me and just turn the tables completely. And I think that LGD Int are a bit... I'm not sure if they're happy about their that 3-end pick or not. I mean, I did say it was viable after they picked it, but I still do think it is. I think it's a bit about how they executed everything, and that early fight decided... I mean, people don't understand that, but early fights like that can decide games.
Absolutely. 2 games, less than 30 minutes. We will see the Ancient Blow momentarily. I always hang out, want to make sure that we give everyone a nice look at the scoreboard there at the end. 20-3, though. And the wrong Ancient blows up. Hooray. That's something something that the Valve devs will have to work on in the ticket. But anyway, 29 minutes, 50 seconds, the official game timer. 20-3 and a 100% lopsided rout. It was pretty ugly game 1. Game 2 even more ugly. But that just means we're probably going to have an 85-minute barn burner in game number 3. Can't say I'd mind. Hope you guys are enjoying your time here on One More Game TV 2. I'm AC, joined by Lodeberg. Closing out this second game. Game 3 going to be on the way while you're hanging out during the downtime. Make sure you check out g1.2p.com, our coverage hub. Lots of interviews, some cool article write-ups, and of course your caster hub. And you can interact with us live on Twitter during the break. LGD China rolls here in game number 2. Our deciding game number 3 coming up next here on One More Game TV 2. Stick with us. We'll be right back.